All right, all right. Hey, everyone. We're at part 2. All right, Josh, you're live.
Okay.
Good job. Good job, team. Good job, team. We did it. Oh, and that's Discord popping off.
Mm-hmm.
Letting them know who's large and in charge. My lefty putting, bro, I'm like 90% inside circle.
Nice.
It feels terrible,
I just need to see if I can recreate what happened yesterday.
Oh, dude. You was on way A.
Yeah.
You were here. It was like, you were like,
Yeah. And then I just have to worry about like
oh,
how my
yeah.
hand finishes.
Don't do that.
What?
Don't do this swing.
Oh.
Don't do the swing.
All right. Computer died, but we're back. Alcaraz. The Alcaraz? Okay. Maybe I can turn the brightness up. Oh, I can see it. Yeah, we'll see. Hello? Oh, Mikey, all is not well yet.
What?
It doesn't have the iPad.
Easy fix. I say should be. Should be an easy fix, am I right? Okay, iPad, game capture. Let's try this first, and then we'll go there. Look at that. It's like it worked the whole time, but it didn't.
All right. Boom. Yo, yo. So this is so disc orientation. And wrist, I should say. So let's talk about this time. Bloop. Sip, sip. Okay. So you're gonna have to do some work on making sure that the disc, that your elbow's not dropping here, and that your like palm's not rotating upward, right? So for me personally, to make sure that this happens, I found it useful to kind of, if you put your arm up, so disc in left hand, and then have your like disc kind of on your like right pec / center chest in there. This hands toward the back of the disc, and now you've got this space here, right? In order to maintain this space, there's like a little bit of a, you can almost feel like the tension here to maintain that space. If you can keep that space throughout the whole throw, it will help keep your elbow up. So, for example, when I do this myself, I'll go, so I have like my little swingy thing here, and then I swing it up into that space. And then once I'm up into that space, I can just stay there. And this is kind of a, boom, we're up, and we still have that same feeling of space as we coil back, right? And this kind of position stays elevated. So it shouldn't feel like it's like there and not there, there and not there. It's just you have that height the whole time, and you don't have to briefcase like I'm showing here. You can keep it flat. But this more level swing is going to be a big quality of life improvement on your throw. Because right now, this is just like going up and kind of like stalling real hard. So that's just about kind of intentionally, okay, I'm going to set up, and you can do this the whole time. Like you can do the whole throw like this and maintain that space. But drilling that out is what the next recommendation would be here. Oh, I did want to talk about your wrist. You can even have the wrist like, let's see, curled in a little bit here, right? When we're here, it's like a little bit curled in, and you can keep that wrist curl the whole time. What you don't want to do is you don't want to go and uncurl the wrist through all of this, right? Because your wrist just isn't all that fast. So that's what I would recommend. Absolutely. Boop. Okay, let me figure out where this throw is happening here. So first thing, you need to lay your wrist back. Instead of here, it needs to be back, especially by this point. And then let's talk footwork. So first thing is when you're here, wrist needs to be back. Very important. Second, footwork. You have like a semi-hop / cross behind with your right leg. So your right leg's going kind of here. So we don't want to do that because it starts pulling the hips too far backwards. So your options are, and this is probably the one that you'll want to go with, is the heel click, where you kind of bring them together and go. With a little hop, you can do it if you want, or you can step through. So either here or across in front. Like that, right? And then this foot would be pointing targetward. So those are your options. And we want our strides to be straight to where we're throwing, right? So if I'm throwing to you, I want my steps. So here's my boop, my little heel click. My steps are forward like this. It's hard for me to tell from the camera angle, so I'm just covering my bases here. But it looks like you're walking, looks like you're here, and then you open here and kind of pull off of that line. So you want to be instead here, stepping straight toward your target line. Wrist back, heel click, stride straight. Mm-hmm. Three steps is fine. I think if you want to add more power, eventually you'll hop. But it depends on how far you're throwing. People aren't going to hop for super short stuff. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this front foot is pointing a little too forward. It's going to make it really tough to get a good brace and not. Over rotate here. Let me. So, from a footwork perspective, what we're looking at is we don't want this foot to like twist as it goes down and twist forward like this. You need to keep it so that this knee is kind of pointing back a little bit. Right? It's much easier to settle into this heel and get a solid base. From there, we need your arms to slide forward. Right now, what's happening is you're kind of going here, and then you're coming around. So instead, we need this knee back, and then arms forward. The hands end up passing the body here, not bringing the body around with the hands. It's here, sorry, let me orient this way. Here. And the hands pass. And then you come around. Hey, 350 on a forehand is great. The thing that I'm not crazy about in this setup, I know he's trying to keep his elbow up, it's just like where your hand is in relation to the disc, where it's like kind of already in front of the disc, but we'll see if it changes anything. We should be on the toe here, going through this. So the posture should be toes and butt back. On your toes, and the butt needs to go back so we don't run into issues down the road. Yeah, kind of like this. Where we got the feet flaring out. Yeah. So this is super easy to see. So this is you can see the outward arc like this, which is necessary when the feet are flared out like this. It's going to happen, basically. So this is where it feels like you're arming the disc, right? Because you have to use so much energy to get the disc all the way around here instead of just going through. Okay, so let's work posture real quick, because this changes how you attack everything. So on the toes, you should be able to lift up your heels, and your butt needs to go back. Right now you're very upright, right, which makes doing all the other footwork things very difficult. Specifically, coming through on this X, being on the toes, and then this last part here where we turn in our knee. It's much easier to get your knees in when your butt is out, and you can actually go further this way versus if your butt's underneath your hips here and you try to do the same thing, you can't get quite as far, right? So here, and we get extra space. So here. So that posture is super important. Also, it makes it, since we can get our feet in like that now, we don't have to go around. You can see that your like arm unit is staying the same here to where it's like this and going around. We don't want that. Instead, what we want is for the hand to pass through the pocket. Right? But you can't do that if your like feet are here and your hips are rotating open here, like it's starting you out. So that's why I address the footwork piece first, because then after you get that on your toes, your butt out here, now we can move the hands through and past the body. Yep. Oh, I eat. Last one. Hey, this is the last form review in Mikey's place, right here. barring any unforeseen circumstances. There we go. Nice squatch bag. Use code OVERTHROW for free shipping. The office is mostly white, but there's going to be a black wall. We've got some cool ideas for that. Well, I should say, Mikey has some cool ideas for that. Okay. These are the kind of shoes that Philo wears. So this is a little too far out to me, I think. I was like, man, it doesn't look like his timing is like too weird. I was like, he just needs to get the disc. Like you're just waiting for this foot to land while the disc is like already, you see how your arm's already extended and everything. There's no extra movement until the foot hits. All right, so it looks to me like you're focused on being a little too out probably. And then I'm calling this the shirt gap here. He gets a bit tighter here with his left arm. So let me sorry, my brain went on a totally different train of thought. Oh yeah. It's really, it's hard. I can't tell for sure from this angle, but I am pretty sure, fairly certain, partially sure, mostly sure. But it looks like you're out, like you're here, and it's staying like very wide from your body. And if you let it continue back behind you, you don't have to like force it to be super away from your body. You can let this come behind you here, and as long as you have room to get into the pocket here, you're good. Like as long as you can move directly into the pocket, then you're good to go. So don't focus on keeping it like wide. Don't focus on reaching out just to reach out, right? And that'll give us that if you like just coil, right, and then stop when your foot stops going, then you'll have that timing synced up a little bit better. And then about the left hand. So the left hand needs to start moving in tight. So you need to work on this uniform move here, where it's both arms in tight to the body. You don't have to like go crazy with a punch down or anything. It just needs to get, boom, tight. So it's not dragging you. that's my thoughts on that. Boom. Well, guys, that's it. On to a new chapter where we're not doing a overthrow out of our houses. All right, guys. We will catch you in the next one. Peace.